Yeah.
So, I'm not understanding that how to develop a relationship with Nityananda, exactly what we have to do in this.
Oh, that's a good question. Yeah. So to begin with, we chant the name of Lord Nityananda. To develop a relationship, we chant the name. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasti Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. We chant that mantra. There's given mantra in our sampradaya that we chant. We all chant that mantra in both kirtan and privately. So by that you develop a relationship by chanting the name. And when you worship the deity of Lord Nityananda, here you can go to the temple, you can bow down to the lotus feet of Lord Nityananda. All of our temples, wherever you go, Nitai Gaur is so beautiful. In Rashabihari Mandir, Juhu, Nitai Gaur is so beautiful. Vrindavan, Nitai Gaur is so beautiful. In Mayapur, Panchatattva, everywhere Nitai Gaur. Actually, I was fortunate that, I mean, we're all fortunate. But I was fortunate too, because I had, even though I was born in Australia and I grew up in Melbourne, but Srila Prabhupada personally installed Lord Nityananda and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Melbourne. And he called the temple Melbourne Mahaprabhu Mandir. Mahaprabhu Mandir. A beautiful, very special deities, Gaurnitai, from Navadip, Astadhatu. They were shipped out in big ship. Huge, they weigh tons and tons. Huge, huge deities. Astadhatu. Before Panchatattva were installed, they were the largest Gaurnitai deities in ISKCON. They're huge. They were installed in 1974 in Melbourne. Prabhupada personally, you can see him there with the soup ladle. There in the West, they didn't have any of the paraphernalia for worship. So they're doing the Abhishek. Prabhupada is there, he's in the temple with his kurta. He's there with his kurta. And a soup ladle, you know, soup. You know, this big spoon that they give you the food when you're in jail? You know, how many of you been in jail? No? Anyway, take my word for it. Big. We've been put in jail because of Sankirtan a few times. So big spoon like that. So Prabhupada, he's there with big spoon like that. He's bathing Lord Nityananda. You can see with the yogurt, he's bathing Lord Nityananda. Prabhupada personally bathing Lord Nityananda. You know? How much pleased you can imagine that Nitai Goshai would be receiving that Abhishek from Srila Prabhupada. How much pleased he would be to receive that Abhishek from Prabhupada. Who has made that, before Srila Prabhupada, Nitai Goshai, Nitai Mohima, and no one knew. Who knew about Lord Nityananda before Prabhupada? Who knew? And now the whole world knows. And just beginning, Prabhupada has introduced, he's given Lord Nityananda to the world. Whole of humanity. Our system, our movement is just beginning. 50 years already, we're so well known. In another 200-300 years, Nitai Gaur Mahima, the glories of Lord Nityananda, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, no one on this planet will not have heard. No one on this planet will not have heard if we carry on. And this is Prabhupada's, what Prabhupada has done. And so Prabhupada's there bathing Lord Nityananda. I'm answering your question, by the way. And so the deity is there, Lord Nityananda is there because he came to receive that Abhishek from his most beloved servitor, Sebok. He came to receive that Abhishek because he wants that, because he's so much loving, so much love for Prabhupada. So he's there. He can't, not that he comes and goes. Because Prabhupada requests him, now you stay here. You stay here and you let these Mlecha Javans, you let them worship you. Okay, if you say so, I'll do. Because you want and I agree. How can I refuse your request? How can I refuse your request? You've done for what you've done for me. All you ask me is stay here. Okay, if you ask, how can I refuse you? So he's there because of Prabhupada's request. So I'm still nothing, nobody, full of bad things, but I happen to be in that place and happen to find that place, Lord Nityananda, and see Lord Nityananda and get the merciful glance of Lord Nityananda. And then I stayed in that, I lived in that temple, I joined that temple, lived in that temple for 12 years. And serving Lord Nityananda, we would do Sankirtan. In fact, in the morning, my seva, not every day, but Sundays, I could go in and we could do that. Because there's Ashtadhatu deity, there's bronze. So in the morning we would do a bath with a special tilak and some like imli, lebu rosh. And so every morning we could do that seva. It was the puja, before dressing, big deities. Usually they did bath for small deity, full bath, small deity. There's Abhishek deity, small bath, Utsav deity. And the big deities say they just wipe with cloth. Big deity, they wipe with the cloth. In Mayapur they do that, wipe. Sometimes there's big Abhishek, once every year or 5 years. But the Panchata, not bathed every day, wipe. So like that, so we could do that, but it's not just with cloth, you could do it with your hands. First we'd make that tilak and then we'd polish the deities. We'd rub, polish the whole body of Lord Nityananda. Lotus feet, literally rubbing lotus feet, and the legs and everything, every day. Every day we'd do this seva. And then we'd wipe with the towel and then put tilak. We'd put the tilak. And then kupin, and then the ladies would come and then they would dress the deity. So that we would do that seva, and then when you do in the morning, and there was like, because of the Ashtadhatu deity form and the tilak and the lemon, it makes there's a slight like oxidization, there's a slight abrasive, and so it's like slight substance, it remains on the hands. So I would go on the Sankirtan, and we were just standing on the street with the books and trying to distribute the books to people, and I would just be smelling my hands. And remember Lord Nityananda. I'm smelling my hands. Remember Lord Nityananda. Of course you remember, I mean, the fragrance is so strong. And then I would pray that actually, let me become your instrument, because you are the preacher. You are the first preacher. Bhaja Krishna, Bolo Krishna, Kora Krishna, Shikha. You are being attacked. You are the preacher. You actually have desire. So let me serve you. Let me serve you. That's all we have to. I don't need to be a big preacher, anything. Just let me help you. What else? What a better path can you find? He's the preacher. He's the first preacher. So anyone who takes the trouble of personal sacrifice for kindness to others, preaching means you accept personal trouble. You have to go out. I don't have to. I'll stay at home and just do something or do my email. Oh, okay, I won't. I'll go out on my way. I'll go to the people. I'll go and I will try to give them Krishna consciousness somehow or other. That's Lord Nityananda's mood. That's what he's doing. Every day he was going. So you develop relationship with the deity, you develop relationship with the name, you develop relationship with the mission. That's how you develop relationship. So anyway, after my good fortune was that I was able to say, I remember in the evening we would come. We would go on Sankirtan. We would go on Sankirtan, and like that we would remember Lord Nityananda. We would smell the Charanamrit, we'd smell, we'd distribute the books, we'd come back in the evening, and then the Lakshmi that we collected, the Lakshmi that we excluded from the materialists. They don't want to give that. They don't want to give that. That's the last thing they want to give. They'll take a book, but they don't want to give that Lakshmi. But you have to get that Lakshmi. If you really want to be kind on them, you have to get that Lakshmi. Yeah, because they will use that and self-damage, what they'll use that for. Better they don't have the Lakshmi. Better you take it and you use it for Krishna service. That will be good for them. So the more you can take, the better for them. And that is the expertise of the preacher. You have to, not that you steal from them. Sometimes also we just stole from them, but because it's still good. But you have to. They're happy, but you have to take that. That's Lord Nityananda's business. You want to develop relationship with Lord Nityananda, and then you take up that task. Because that's sacrifice. No one likes to do that. We don't want to become a beggar. Why should I become a beggar? I don't need to beg from these people. When you become Lord Nityananda's beggar, he becomes so inclined to you. So that's how you develop relationship. And I would come in the evening, and that Lakshmi that we extruded, that it takes work to get that money from the people. That's very important. That will deliver them. When you give that to Krishna's lotus feet, that's their service. You're making them Krishna's servant. You're making them serve Krishna. You are the greatest well-wisher. So if they slap you, if they spit on you, if they kick you, it's worth it. It's worth it, because what you are doing, the greatest service, you are making them, you are giving them the prem dhan, you are giving them the wealth of Krishna seva. Even they don't know it, they don't even want. You are making for them. That service is so pleasing to Lord Nityanand Prabhu. So we would bring that Lakshmi, we would put it at the lotus feet of Lord Nityananda in the temple at night. And then we would take to the treasury and put in the hole in the treasury door. But this is the mood. Everything is for Lord Nityananda. This is the mood. He's the principal preacher, the principal servant in the movement. So His Grace Burijan Prabhu, he is my well-wisher and very kind devotee. He used to come to Melbourne when I was a young devotee. He used to say to me, we would meet, and he would say, so he would ask me about Shastra, so what are you studying? What sloka you're learning? He said to me, you should learn one sloka a week. One sloka a week, he told me. To learn one sloka. He was learning slokas. Not that he just tells you to do, he's doing. So then I went to Bangladesh. Burijan Prabhu also went to Bangladesh. He was learning Bengali, the same teacher. He was in Dhaka. Burijan Prabhu, same teacher. You know Burijan Prabhu. You know Burijan. And Jagat Tarini. And he was in Bangladesh. So then, after I left Australia, and then I met Burijan Prabhu in Vrindavan, and I'd been in Bangladesh, and then he said, he said that because you served Lord Nityananda, see, actually Bengal was given to Lord Nityananda. Bengal. Those who are preaching in Bengal, they're particularly connected to Lord Nityananda. The Bengal, Mahaprabhu, what I cannot do, you can do, holy man. Even he said to Lord Nityananda, don't come to Jagannath Puri every year, but you stay in Bengal and you deliver the people for me. Nityananda Prabhu, Bengal preaching, Nityananda Prabhu. So Burijan Prabhu said to me that because you served Lord Nityananda in Melbourne, where he's present, because you served him there, he has sent you to Bangladesh to preach on his behalf, to preach in his land, to take up his direct service. So that was very encouraging. He told me that. That's how he saw that. So you have to take. You want to get a relationship. Then you have to work on that. You have to do something. You have to approach. You have to make yourself the beloved by becoming a lover and doing these things. You bow down. You take the name. You take the mission. You hear. And then develop relationship. Other questions?